Opposite of
the new love. But don't try and make a sexual or marriage arrangement out of it. Generally, you can't comprehend this. That's what a Hindu does. Not in the form of another human being, certainly not in his immediate environment. But the 100,000-volt love is of the nature of worship. It's not of the nature of human relationship.
Hollywood's no help.
Terrible detriment. Much of this is turning into bitterness in people now. Disillusionment. You know, it's a wonderful word if one can stand it, but in its usual sense, it just means one gives up.
Well, the opposite of idealism is cynicism.
Yeah.
And we find a cynical voice about love in our culture too.
Yeah. It's stuff for the cartoonist now.
Agape, by tradition, is God's love, or the love of God, or the love that God has for us, which is the love that lets be, or the love that empowers, or the love that...
Yes. What does that mean to most people? Not much. One can talk for 20 minutes to somebody in the romantic dilemma. He listens politely, and after a while he says, okay, now what do I do? I tell him it's not a matter of doing, it's being. If you can stand that, we'll go on. If not, we haven't got much to talk about. It's our worst problem.
It seems to me that the idea of metanoia, of all the noyas, it's my favorite. Paranoia is being outside your mind. Metanoia is to change your mind. I think we have to change our mind, change our attitude, consciousness.
To be beyond mind, metta. That doesn't sell well.
No.
I don't know what does sell now. Pharmacy sells, pharmacopoeia sells now. You can numb it out. The number of people that take tranquilizers in this culture is frightening. I heard somebody the other day say, the first time I'd heard it, it shocked me. Well, I go home, turn on the TV and numb out. I understand. It hurts too much to stand 24 hours a day.
It's almost as though it appears that consciousness is unnatural, because we do it so, it's with such difficulty.
I think consciousness is a part of nature, but that's not the common idea.
Consciousness is evolving, is it not? I mean, in the individual, of course, we see it in the infants who are struggling to become conscious, but are we evolving consciously as a collective group?
Not as a body. We're trying out other things. We're trying out science, which is a misuse of the word again. my own quiet, private opinion that we're going to have a big suffering before we will look deeper.
Part of the opportunity of the 9/11 is for changed consciousness.
Yes, and just look what and who picked that up and took it off another direction. Another war. Hard to keep from being a pessimist. Well, I know what to do with an individual, but I haven't any idea what our culture should or could do.
You felt that our future hung on them.
Oh, it does. I'm sure of that. The old legends that there's a hermetic circle, a few conscious people, and that's what will keep civilization together.
Those who commit to consciousness.
Not just the ones that talk about it, walk around the bookshops.
Talking about the people who are willing to suffer for consciousness.
Yes. And the word suffer originally meant to allow. Not to wring your hands and drip blood.
Always love that King James version of the Sermon on the Mount where he says, suffer the little children.
Yes.
It means really to allow them to come forward, to carry them up.
Yeah.
To suffer something means to carry it, does it?
Yeah. What did that turn up in more recent translations?
To permit.
Oh, okay.
Teilhard de Chardin talks about the omega point, toward which all creation is moving.
Yes. Creation thinks in terms of hundreds of thousands of years. I can't wait.
The individual as well as the collective omega point.
True. That's part of one's mythology. My grandmother had her old cake. Sweet and happy days and the goodbye.
A scientist in Peru
You
captured
optimistic
this,
about the next round?
escaping from the tiny body of a sleeping
What
hummingbird.
realm?
A high-pitched
We're in it, aren't we?
but
No,
unmistakable
I'm not optimistic
snore.
about it.
Hummingbirds are
Eventually, of
loved for
course.
their beauty and speed, but this one was behaving
I have a new friend, Roman
little bit
Catholic
like a
priest,
human.
young man.
the perfect cute
He comes
response
down, we
trigger.
talk about things. I haven't talked about this, have I?
No.
Okay. He's remarkably free and open, but I'm wary of landing him with more than a poor man could stand.
Might not seem of any
One
particular
day I said,
interest.
Father, there was a heresy
us,
that I liked
it's different.
so much,
Consider again that
but I've forgotten the name of it.
That's here.
It's
That's
the
all.
idea that
That's us. On it.
there's
Everyone you
no
love.
ultimate or permanent
Everyone you
hell.
love.
Everybody makes his way to salvation, to heaven. Oh, he said, yeah, that's the universalist heresy. Yeah, Pope so-and-so and such a date branded that as a heresy. So I thought maybe I could risk a little bit more, and I said, you know, I believe this. And he said, don't ever quote me, but I do too. Yeah, it'll all work out. There's a Chinese proverb, if you're invaded, if your country is invaded, welcome him. You'll assimilate him in 3 generations.
大宝，你这可都丑橘呀！哦。
Enough, Father?
Thank you, Reverend.
Okay.
你说你吃的东西多高档？